today's video, we are upgrading the most restrictive thing on the GTI platform, the downpipe. Let me say this really quick. I had the idea of going catless like I do on every other of my cars. I mean, it's just what you do if you're gonna go all out. I learned very quickly that high flow cats are really popular with GTIs, and I really had doubts about them. As I reached out to Unitronic before this build even started, everything you see Unitronic is my choice, and they educated me on their high flow cats and everything, and they really convinced me, hey, you should try this. And I was like, whatever, it's not gonna be loud, it's not gonna be as fast. I couldn't have been any more wrong. It's gonna be louder, it's gonna be faster, it's gonna boost up faster, it's gonna be more responsive. When you install a downpipe, you have to run a stage 2 map, which is really fun. We're gonna get a lot more horsepower. We're gonna go over the statistics here in a little bit. So that's something also to look forward to at the same time you do your downpipe. It's a good time after you do a downpipe, and I'm excited for you guys to watch this. And it really brings a huge part of the personality of this car to light finally. This is the first install on the Cameron Alford YouTube channel with a 2-post lift. My biggest fear with having a 2-post lift is you guys feeling discouraged and feeling like that you have to have a 2-post car lift to do installs. And my channel is all about building confidence in the garage. That's what the brand Karma Speed is all about. And by no means does that mean that. And I don't want that to ever be a thought. So this is a tool. You can't get every job done with a set of jack stands and a jack. It just is not possible. So this is something that we need to take this channel to the next level. But I'll be using it a lot for a lot of basic installs like this downpipe, so I can get better filming angles so you guys know exactly what you're getting into. It's not exactly the easiest thing to film when we have like this much space under the car. You guys know the struggle. I'm sure a lot of you have filmed videos on your phones and stuff for your channels out there. So this is gonna be huge. I want it to make these videos as easy as possible to attack these installs. And with this 2-post lift, it's just gonna up the quality of the videos, give you a better perspective of where we're at, where we're positioned, how to do things, how to get certain tools in there, and then having Randall's help on top of it. Everything's just gonna get so much smoother. So thank you guys so much for watching the videos. This 2-post lift wouldn't be here without you guys watching, and I'm just so thankful for today. It's the first install with it. Let's get after it. Where it's at right here. To get this install started, we're going to unplug the top cable that is connected to the O2 sensor on the downpipe. Remove the V-band clamp holding the downpipe to the turbo. This is going to take an Allen head socket. If you don't have a kit or any tools, link in the description to an Amazon tools list I refer to all the time that is super useful. 16 millimeter. 14 millimeter. 14 millimeter on the downpipe hanger as well. The bracket that holds the downpipe on is 13 millimeter. Ratcheting wrenches are your friend here. We're gonna bust our V-band off on the turbo side. Drops the downpipe down, disconnect our catback exhaust, and then that will allow us to pull the downpipe out very carefully. Sometimes these V-band clamps can get stuck, but with a little bit of force, they'll come right out. Pay attention to how we slide this out. We kind of twist it. Don't force anything, it will come out no problem. And then you're gonna slide the new one in the same way. Now we're gonna pull out our O2 sensor with our O2 socket. Let's take a look inside at this high flow cat.
Anti-seize keeps the bolt from freezing out.
When you have a lot of heat, bolts like this,
Anti-seize is your best friend.
yeah, they want to just seize up, and then when you take this off in a year or 2 or 3 or 5, Makes your life easy. Snug your O2 sensor up, not too tight. We're gonna go ahead and take off our downpipe hanger and move it to our new downpipe, but Randall's putting a little bit of grease on here, anything to lube it up to make it go on easier, and then pay attention to how we rotate this downpipe in here and then do a full 360 almost. Then it'll slide into place, no problem. Throw our hanger on, slide it up to the turbo, slide the bolts in by hand, start putting everything back. Before you tighten anything up in here or snug anything up at all, we're gonna go to the top and make sure that the V-band clamp is attached to the turbo. That's tight. That's the most important place for it to have good connection, and then everything else follows from the top down. If you plan on doing this at home, you don't need a lift. You need 4 jack stands, a jack. You can get after it. We're putting our V-band clamp back on right here, but if you need to put your car in jack stands, you're not too confident with it, I have a video on the Cameron Alford 2 channel. We'll show you how to put your GTI in jack stands. Take a look at the description. You'll find everything you need. That's good. That's a good start.
Sounds good.
Oh, dude, it's throaty now.
Yeah, it is.
Once we get the tune on it, it'll probably run a little cleaner. Nice. Heading back into the garage, we're going to install our Stage 2 tune from Unitronic. This goes with any downpipe install on this car. You need the Stage 2 file so you have the proper air to fuel ratio. We're going to grab our Optimate battery charger. This thing's super awesome. Everything's automatic. You just plug it in, takes care of your battery problems, can bring dead batteries back to life. We're all set to flash this tune on the car. Alright, let's see what kind of power gains we're getting. Stage 2. 127 horsepower above stock, 112 foot-pounds of torque. Quite a bit. The only thing you need to run Stage 2 is a downpipe, but it is recommended to have everything else we've put on the car thus far. Intake, charge pipes, intercooler, catback exhaust, the whole 9 from Unitronic. This is kind of the final rundown before we move on to a Golf R Turbo, or what's known as IS38. Just plugged our cable in. Let's turn the key on. like startup and revving it, it's really nothing crazy. Once you put this downpipe on it, makes starting it up more like of a neck snap thing. Still subtle, but it's nice. Revving it, way more satisfying. I think the only thing to complain about when you put a downpipe on a GTI is the kind of unexpected low RPM, high load drone rasp. So if you're cruising down the road in 6th gear, which 6th gear is really quiet actually, for having a high flow downpipe, usually you get quite a bit of drone cruising around town. It's not bad at all with this car. You can still talk to the person next to you, which usually isn't the case with most cars. It's like at some level of drone where it's kind of annoying, but this still feels like a really dailyable car. But as soon as it shifts from 6th to 5th and you kind of are like half throttle, it's pretty loud, so it's kind of hard to talk to people, but I don't see that as a bad thing. It's a give and take situation. If you're asking everything of it, it can never be everything as far as quiet when you want it and loud when you want it. That's literally impossible. You'll never find a car that's exactly the way you want it in every way, because it's just not how it works. So it's still quiet, cruising around town. It's plenty loud when you get on the gas, so it's honestly, you can't ask for much more. If you have stock wheel and tire setup, it is so hard to keep traction. It's even worse now. It was already bad with stage 1. By the time you guys are seeing this, I have new wheels and tires on the car, and I got some stickier tires, and this thing rips with new tires. It's a very important part of adding more horsepower to this car is getting a stickier tire, and we'll walk through that here soon. If you're thinking to yourself, do I want this downpipe or not? If you're the slightest bit anxious to see what it's like, I highly recommend just trying it out. If you don't like it, sell it, put the stock one back on. This install is not bad at all. If it seems bad compared to all other cars I've done, this is nothing. You guys got this in your garage on jack stands, no problem. I will say, if you get a business call or a phone call and you're on speaker, the person you're on the phone with will know what gear you're in at all times. It is just loud enough to where your phone calls is very clear that you are driving a modified car. Does it matter? Probably for most of you, no. Heck no. If anything, it starts a conversation, right? But since this car is such a wide range of ages, I really think that this downpipe life is not for everyone. But if, like I said, if you're the slightest bit anxious, try it out. But if you're just like, hey, I use this car for business, for work, I need it ultra quiet, I have a baby, family, maybe you should try an aftermarket downpipe with a stock catback. I think I will try that towards the end of this series and let you guys know what I think. But if you're really erring on the side of daily driver being quiet, you might want to hold off on this. But 90% of you guys will want to unleash the horsepower within this car, its capability, its personality. 100% do this. Out of all the hot hatches I've done, this is the easiest downpipe to install. Just throwing that out there. I think the last thing that comes to my mind is the shifting alone, if you have the DSG, is worth it. And we haven't even ran the overrun map, which is like the pops and burbles and bangs and all that tune yet, so just wait. We're gonna do that. We gotta get the outside of the car looking nice, then we're gonna install a tune that matches the vibe of the car once it's looking a little more aggressive. I can't wait for you guys to see how this car is going to look. Like, we're doing all the performance stuff now, but it's going to be so clean. I can't wait. If you guys are new here, we're all about building confidence in the garage, working on our own cars, DIY, doing everything ourselves, having all the tools, help, knowledge, advice. That's what the Karma Speed community is all about. If you guys are watching the GTI series and you didn't know about the Karma Speed Facebook group, check out a link in the description. I have a Facebook group with a bunch of people from all of our videos that are super helpful people. It's a lot of positivity in the Facebook group. You can ask dumb questions and usually get really smart answers and not be shamed for it or anything stupid like that. I hate that. There's no such thing as a dumb question. We've all been there. If you act like you haven't, get out of here. If you want to support the channel and our team behind all this as things are picking up and approaching 200,000 subscribers, which I'm going to say now if you're watching the end of this video, I have a surprise at 200,000 subscribers. That's going to be awesome. So if you want to support us, karmaspeed.com, go grab some high quality apparel, get some clothes that represents you as an automotive enthusiast. Put a lot of time in the design and little details, and this is just the beginning of Karma Speed. It's my little baby that I want to grow this year in 2021, and your guys' support has been awesome so far, and I want to continue to grow it so we can level up, get better camera equipment, go out of town to go filming, keep adding people to our teams to make our content more consistent, higher quality, and fun to watch, and even more educational. Thank you guys so much for your time. Catch you guys in the next video. We got videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and most Sundays.